Welcome, sports card collectors, to another episode. Dr. James Beckett, Sports Card Insights. It's the weekend. It's actually January 30th, fast approaching the day when people have given up on their resolutions from the beginning of the year. So I'm going to talk about that in the context of the hobby and Sports Card Insights. But thanks, sponsors: Topps Panini and Upper Deck, Heritage Auctions, Huggins & Scott Auctions, Burbank Sports Cards, Mike Stadium Sports Cards, and ComC.com, Beckett Media, Beckett Grading, Beckett Authentication. When you hear about resolutions for the new year, and again, 2020 was such an exceptional year. 2021, we hope it's better in every respect, other than it doesn't need to be better in the hobby respect, because the hobby has been on fire. But most resolutions are positive things. One survey said that 71% of these resolutions were about learning life skills. Certainly, I hope you're not giving up on that. This is a hobby where I believe learning is important. It's important to have fun, but learning along the way, gaining new perspectives. And that's what this podcast is partly about. So I hope you haven't given up on that resolution. That ought to be something you're doing the rest of your life. Another one, 62%, we're trying to save money for the future. I'm not rejecting that out of hand, other than the word saving. The only way you can save money is either by not spending it or making some new money. I really want to encourage people in this hobby to be financially prudent. That may mean saving money, and it may mean making money, investing money, even quote unquote, in this industry. There's no sure things, but putting your money to work or your expertise to work has been extremely rewarding in 2020. I hope it is in 2021. I obviously would like that. Then they talk about learning a new skill. I just think if you're not learning a new skill, you're standing still. And that really goes for the hobby. One insight for today is I think too many people are fixated on the GOATs and the potential GOATs. There's a lot to be learned and mined in the second tier. And I'm not just talking about those who have promise, the younger players, but young and old. If you're not going to be the GOAT, you still can be highly collectible. I'm a big believer in the long tail. So learning about those players that are not the top 5 in each sport, or the all pros, the GOATs, learning about that next group that still has a strong following, but just not in the top group, that would be time well spent, I think, in understanding about your hobby. And frankly, those are the kind of resolutions that really should not be given up on February 1st or January 31st, as you realize that your desire to lose weight or go to the gym or do something else that sounds like a chore, that you don't want to do that anymore because you've missed a few days. But having said that, if just to translate that into things that you shouldn't do, going to the gym, losing weight, to me, the better alternative, although those aren't bad things if you need to, but how healthy are you? My goal is to be healthier at the end of the year than I am at the beginning of the year. And that means not being too sedentary. Now, whether that means going to the gym or eating differently, that's up to you. But I do desire to be healthier. Rather than describing what kind of movement you need to have, it's good to have movement. I worry when I go to these card shows, and if I'm sitting in a chair too much, that's not that healthy. But if I walk around, I'm moving. Movement is good. I actually do go on the treadmill every day. That's been good for me. It gives me a healthy heart. Unfortunately, treadmill, you're not moving in any direction. As I've said before, I'm not one for goals. I'm more one for going in the right direction. Some of the goals, as you've heard in the historical episodes we've had, if I would have had goals, they would have been far exceeded. So going in the right direction to me is very important. Rather than focusing on losing weight, I have lately been focusing on stretching. I need to stretch more. That also goes for the hobby. I'm trying to stretch those areas that I am familiar with. The podcast has certainly been a stretch for me to interview people that have expertise that I'm still learning from. I'm not encouraging you to be stretched financially. In spite of how rosy the outlook looks, you need to be prudent about that. But to have an attitude of being willing to be stretched and to work at stretching, I think is healthy, and it involves movement. Lastly, if you are going to give up on some resolutions and break resolutions, give up on the ones that you couldn't control anyway. I'm in no way a control freak, but nobody likes to be controlled. People like to have some level, or at least the perception of some level of control in their life and of their hobby. If you're not able to control it, and you should, that's bad. If you can't control certain things, then you need to give that up. I hope you're going to shows and going to your LCS and being on ComC or Beckett Marketplace or eBay and participating with the auctions, Heritage and Huggins & Scott and buying cards, wherever way you're getting them from our sponsors. It's a healthy hobby right now. I hope you're staying healthy to fully participate in that. Keep moving, keep stretching, and don't worry about controlling things you can't control, but be prudent in the things that you can control. Nothing goes up forever. I don't want to be gloomy. I'm just saying nothing goes up forever. When it peaks, if it peaks and it never goes up beyond that, you want to be pleased that I am so excited I have this card at this price. So in the meantime, just enjoy, and I hope the good times continue to roll. So have a great weekend, and I'll see you on Monday.